What's good, y'all? It's your boy TBT, aka the Brainless Trader, and we are back with another one. Behind me, your boy is talking about the funded challenge with the funded trader that I did starting in September. What I'm talking through is kind of my successes and pitfalls, things that I learned, things that I want to get better at to pass the challenge this year. God willing. So rock with me, stay with me. We're gonna continue to post content, continue to come at you with positivity. Now, in this video, it's nighttime. I'm speaking kind of low because we had guests over at Christmas break. So don't mistake my humility for a lack of confidence, because you already know. You here with it. So with that said, hope y'all enjoy the video. Hope y'all learn something if you watch it. Love you. Peace.
Started this challenge on the 1st. There you go. So took a couple baby trades and then kind of got into my first trade, which was this five lot trade that was successful. Those 2.5s were trades that I wanted to get in, but I kind of have a rule now where I'm looking at, between 30 minutes and an hour. If the trade is not going well, cutting that biscuit, because a lot of times the trade should, in theory, go to target within the hour for my trades, because I'm entering in a fair value gap. I should see some sort of reaction. I shouldn't be sitting there for an hour and nothing's happened. If nothing's happened, then something's wrong. If it hasn't gone in my direction and it hasn't gone against me within that hour, after that 30 minutes to an hour, I'm looking at it like, let's cut it, because I don't really need to be in it anymore. I need to observe the market, because obviously I'm not on par. So my phone is really acting silly, boy. Anyways, so that was the first trade. Getting back to this, that first trade was most likely a breaker entry. I have to think back on it. I believe it was a breaker entry in a fair value gap. It looks like I captured over 50 pips with the 5 lot. Then I took a couple of other trades. I think this was on the same day, trying to get a little bit more, but didn't really get it, so I just stayed out and kept my little change. Not little change, but my significant gain for that day. 50 pips is a great amount of money for one trade. Then you got a couple of little just stay in the game trades until you get to this next 5 lot. So boom, within the first 10 days of within the first 10 or so days, 10 or 12 days of the challenge, I'm up 4,000. I'm up 4%. So I'm like, dang, cool, let me chill. So then you see me just take a long period of chill time, basically from the beginning of October all the way to actually the whole October. This part of this was work. Employee of ours left. One of my good friends left and went to another job to make more money, and so his responsibilities got pushed on other people. And the way that he left, they were trying to make sure he had an offer, and then what ended up happening is that they couldn't get the offer to him. They should have, but they couldn't. And in the last week of him leaving, all his stuff gets transferred, so there wasn't really enough time for proper crossover, if you feel me. So if you understand what I'm saying. So all that happened in the beginning of beginning of October, which is why you see me taking basically no trades in October, because I really didn't have enough time to come to the market. I was up 4%, and I was just like, I don't really need to push it right now. I can chill. Even if I have to take this to next year, I can take 4% to next year, because I only got to get 8% to pass the challenge, the first part. So as you can see, I kind of got tired of waiting, because I did take a trade in the midst of October to try to get back into things, and didn't really go my way. So I was like, let me just wait a little bit longer. Got into November, and the markets were okay. There were some trades that I could have taken that I didn't really get in on at the right time, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about taking trades before that 12 a.m. open if I'm buying, above that 12 a.m. open if I'm selling, taking trades within a fair value gap, and then sticking to my criteria, looking for the combination of a couple of PD arrays, whether it's order block, fair value gap, order block, fair value gap, and a breaker, order block, fair value gap, breaker, and a mitigation block. Something more than just one thing. I think I can enter into a fair value gap if it's by itself in the right narrative, but I prefer not to. I would prefer to have a couple of confluences with it, right? So that's just me. Helps me to be a little bit more confident in the trade and to wait and be patient for the right setup. But I really wasn't able to kind of get back into the swing of things, and you see I kind of like took a little bit of slow trailing losses here, working back from 4,000. And even in some of these like little losses or little gains, there were opportunities for me to get 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and I kind of have to learn how to become comfortable with, if the trading day hasn't gone well, but I'm able to get $1,000 back if I've lost some money, just take the $1,000 back. A lot of times I'm always trying to like make the best trade out of it. Like if I lose some, like let's say I lose like 1,200, and so I got 300 or so that I can kind of risk. I go in a little bit for a move. I get in on the move is going, I increase my position, I get up about 20 pips, right? And I'm thinking, okay, 20 pips, this thing is going 20 pips, it could go 40 pips. Let me just not do anything to my trade. I can, put it stops the profit, right? Stops the profit. I'm good. It's a risk-free trade. But you see these little 60, 10, 10, like that is what happens when like you stops the profit, it goes 20 or so pips, and then it comes back to entry, based off of where I enter, right? But essentially I don't get paid for that trade, and I can kind of tell that the trade is not going to really go to the target that I want. Maybe the target's too far, maybe prices just hasn't been moving, like I said, in that 30-minute time frame where you kind of get price not really moving as well as you want it. And I have to learn how to take that as a win, like take the little wins as a win instead of trying to always reach my like 40 pip target or whatever. Like there will be days that maybe I don't get on side properly, but I make $1,000 after losing $1,000, and I just break even for the day. That's W, because I was skillful enough to enter into the right trade to make the money back that I lost within my parameters of risk. But if I don't take that money, then I end up being a little bit even more, like, why did I do it? Why didn't I just take that, break even for the day, come back another day? So that's why this year I want to really play the long game and really invest in my patience and paying attention to the market over time, and not having those spurts of really active, really not active, really active, really not active, because I feel like that hinders my progress as well. And being that I don't have as much time as many to spend in the market, I got to take the opportunities that I have to be able to make this career shoot off to the moon. Because when it does, when I am making twice as much as I'm making at work, or 3 times or 4 times within that year, right, then I'll have a decision to make. I'll have to think about, do I want to come back to work next year? Like, I've made $300,000, for instance, an example, right? Once I make $300,000 in a year, do I want to go back to 9 to 5 every day? Like, okay, maybe I'll take another year and say, let me make another 300K. Make another 300K. Now you really like, there's no way I'm going back, because I can now do some sort of business, right? Because people know that I'm making money. I can do some sort of business that can replace my job, right? I can do a signal service. I can do some sort of like daily market, something that people are following my trades, which is I've contemplated if I can get good enough to do that, right? I don't need a job then. So eventually there will come a time where I'm good enough at this to not need a job. But at this point, I have to be realistic and say, not realistic, but I have to be honest and say, until I get to that point, I'm going to have to do the things that are going to help me to get to that point, which is consistency in the market. So there you have it. The rest of these trades are just kind of like not really finding my spot and kind of essentially gone down 2%. So I was up 4%, now I'm down like 2.3%, right? So the overall balance 97 after being up 4,000, right? So at the least I can say that, you know, me having this losing streak at the end was over a period of time. Basically, you know, over the whole of October I had one bad trade and it wasn't terrible, and then over the whole of November I just really wasn't able to get on side. Had opportunities to get 1,000 here, 1,000 there, like I said, but just didn't take those opportunities and ended up with small losses that kind of built up, right, to me ending up going back down, right, in these last two, 900 and 700 and 500, kind of like my last big ones where I was like, okay, you know, I was pushing it after Thanksgiving break, nothing really there, and I just decided, regardless of what happens in December, I'm just going to take my little 0.0 lot sizes and get ready for the new year. You know, take a break, get ready for the new year. And unsurprisingly, December has been a nice month of trading. Some nice clear setups. GBP USD going to the highs, or recent highs, right? But my discipline is on 10 right now. I'm like, hey, let GBP USD have that. I'm gonna take my time, and when February comes around, TBT gonna be ready. So, you know, that's me and everything that's kind of happened over the last couple months since we last spoke. And like I said, I'm not gonna make any guarantees. I think a lot of times when I make guarantees on content, I don't actually do what I say I'm gonna do, like, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is not say anything, and you know, I will just let y'all know that I appreciate y'all for rocking with me this long, for staying subscribed if you are subscribed, or for watching this video if you're not subscribed. And my hope for this channel is just to be able to be, you know, over time, obviously gain more subscribers, gain more views, but I want to do that by being authentic and kind of showing my journey a little bit more closely, not giving you all the details of what I'm doing when I'm doing it, or talking about what I want to do, because it seems like if I say what I want to do or say what I want to happen, then it seems like it becomes very hard for it to happen. And there obviously are spiritual forces that work against us, right? But I don't want to give them or anyone any ammo or ability to affect what I'm doing. And I want to focus it on me, because it's not anything but me, right? It's not anything but my actions, reactions, my own faith, my own drive that's going to help me to be successful. Same for you. So I'm really having to be honest with myself and say, like, if I'm really going to do this Forex thing, I have to change the way that I come about doing these videos. I got to change the frequency at which I'm kind of holding myself accountable to come to the market. And part of that is also being accountable to the 600 or so of you that subscribe, and anybody who ever watches my videos, to say, like, okay, like, this dude says that he's going to become a great Forex trader, and I see the type of work that he's putting in, and I can see, like, lessons he's learned and things like that. Like, whether you learn from me or not, just me being available to the community and being a legitimate, like, verified face, I think is my only goal. Like, I don't know that I care about being an influencer. Obviously, it would be nice to have X amount of followers and be able to have businesses based off of Forex, but that's not really my drive. My drive is to be a great Forex trader. My drive is to be the best Forex trader that I can be, and to be one of the best in the United States, right? One of the best African American traders, right? There are a lot of great traders in general, but there aren't as many African American traders in Forex that are successful. Let's just be honest, right? There's a lot of African American traders who are either, you know, scammers, or there are a few that are successful that have the respect of the industry. So I just want to earn my keep and be respected in my ability to trade. Whether or not I'm better than anybody really don't matter to me, because all I want to do is be able to feed my family and have a little bit of extra cash, not a little bit, a lot of extra cash, and be able to do more and help more around my communities. So yeah, I want to make that clear that that's my that's really my ultimate goal for 2024, is just to be accountable to me, to my grind, and to the channel that I've built here. And hopefully through that consistency and accountability, we can keep growing. So with that said, I'm about to get out of here, try to edit this video and put it up, and then catch y'all on the next one. Peace.